Hi there, Loy Machedo, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay, 29th Jan 2023, 46 years old today. Anyway, so, I was doing a little bit of reflection, just looking back on life. As you become older, I guess you look back and think, okay, what have I changed? And then you focus on what do I need to do to get better. So, Um, I just made a list of 7 habits that I used to do, I think at least last year, but which I changed, or you could say I was changing, but now I've permanently changed from last year. So I thought I'd share them with you so that maybe it can add little value to you. And feel free to also share if there were habits that you used to do. And it can be anything from smoking, drinking, friends, whatever, or something that I'm going to share. So there are 7. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, which one you feel maybe you need to do or disagree, or you can add something from your side. All right, let's start. The first habit that I've stopped doing is, I think this started around 2 years ago. There are clients, because I'm a kind of freelancer, online consultant, I do not know the people I'm dealing with, at least who send me inquiries and all that. So I kind of realized this because I was checking my previous emails. I would try to convince people on the value that they were getting from me. I try to convince them on my rates. I would try to convince them that what they're doing is the right thing. But now I have come to a stage where I don't convince anyone why they should take my service, or if they say for a discount, or what is your last price, or this and that. I get to the point. It's not that I don't consider, if obviously there are genuine cases, but I never, I absolutely never try to convince someone, yeah, you must take my service or you must pay this money. This is my rate. You agree? Fine. You don't agree? There are many other players in the market. I'm sure you'll get someone who will fit your budget. And the reason for this is, if someone really knows your value, he's not going to come and bargain. And if he is coming to bargain, that means he is not only doing that with you, he is doing that with other people. And that is a kind of a headache. And it kind of shows disrespect, that you are approaching someone and last price, come on, last price, man. And normally the amounts that they are asking for is, maybe they could just go and buy themselves a sandwich, just maybe a Starbucks coffee, and they are being stingy for that. So that clearly shows you the level of disrespect that people have. And, this is from experience. The people who bargain with you for these small amounts, they give you the maximum headache. But the clients who pay you well, they give you very less headache. This has been my experience, uh, as I look back. And that is why now, if someone needs convincing, he's not my client and I don't bother with him. So then the funny thing is, yes, I have lost, you could say, maybe 5, 6 people, but then the peace of mind is there and you feel good about yourself that, um, you're not underselling yourself. Obviously, you can't use the same logic where if you're searching for a job or you're going to a company, because the company will survive whether you're there or not there. So it depends. You can't use my advice as a blanket statement everywhere. But as a freelancer, as a businessman who sells his services, this is what works for me. The second point, a habit that I've stopped is, I always had this tendency of trying to improve my website, trying to make things better, starting on new projects, experimenting with some new, assignment. What I realized when I look back a 5-year time period. What I realized is, whenever I took on a new project, let's say a new website for my, or new style, I used to think that this doesn't have any drawback. But then when I really looked at the amount of time, money, effort, overall investment that I put, it's not just the money. I think I realized I spent 6 months, 8 months, and if I'd spent that 6 months, 8 months on my existing project that really worked, I would have maybe sometimes doubled or tripled my revenues. So now I don't take on new projects. I don't try to get into new relationships. I don't change, like they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And this has really helped me in terms of double my revenues than what I'd done before. And I'll tell you, this is not an exaggeration. I actually spent 6 months on just a futile attempt to just change a few things on the website. And I just realized it didn't help in any way other than just maybe exercise my creative mindset. But 6 months is too long, man. It's crazy. And that is why when people tell me try a new podcast, try new social media, everything has an opportunity cost. People don't realize this because they are not into the line of work. It's very easy to give people advice. You look at Twitter, you look at this, you look at that, you get, oh, isn't it so nice? Looks very shiny from the outside, but the amount of work and effort that goes, and especially the opportunity cost of your time and attention, that's a big thing. Number three, you'll be surprised if I tell you this, is reading new books, buying new books. I've totally stopped it. Um, Before, initially, if I would go to any bookstore, minimum, I would buy, minimum, any bookstore, I would buy at least 3 to 5 books. That's the lower end. I remember I used to have this habit where every week I used to go and select books. Every month I would go and buy a whole shopping cart worth of books. And I was one of the favorite customers of most of these bookshops. I'd go to secondhand bookshops, I would go anywhere. Now I've just stopped that. Now, even if I do go to a bookshop, I'll take out the book, I'll flip through the pages, I'll see the Amazon review, I'll try to find a condensed version or a review of that book. And most of the time, what I've realized is most of these authors, they take one idea and they drag it for the whole 200, 300 pages. They give the same example, they give the same uh, concept with 10 different examples, which is a waste of time. So, what I generally tend to do is I'll see a book review or a condensed book review for 2, 3 minutes, or I'll see a book summary, or I'll read an Amazon review, and that gives me the best parts of this book, and I didn't even have to spend money on it. In fact, one of the other things which I tend to do is when I'm on my treadmill or in the gym, I might just listen to this book review or summary by 10 different people. So 10 different people have given me 10 different versions of what they learn, the best parts, and finished. Solves. So reading books, buying new books, complete no. Point number four, um, piggyback on the previous point. Uh, Before I used to, like, if I'm walking, maybe no music, no nothing. Now what I do is I do 1 hour on the treadmill and I'm listening to uh, a podcast, or I'm listening to, and not just any podcast, and not a podcast for the sake of listening to a podcast, something that adds value to the project I'm doing. So if I'm trying to lose weight, it'll be all about losing weight. If it's intermittent fasting, all about intermittent fasting. And I'll choose the best authority on the subject. And at the same time, while I'm listening to this, I'll listen to it at 2x speed and I'll be playing a video game at the same time. I know not many people can do it, and you'll wonder how am I able to do it? I don't know. I can just do it. I have my 3 iPads. And I'm playing, you know, role plays, role play strategy game, and I'm listening to an iPod. Sorry, the uh, interview or long form podcast at 2x speed, and I'm doing my exercise, which I'm able to achieve three things at one time. So it saves me time. And I think this is pretty good. Sometimes I might even speak to my client, but obviously I'll have to switch off uh, the podcast. I'll speak to a client. We'll just be talking. Maybe it'll not be a paid session. Maybe I'm just generally just talking. So I'm building business, relationships with people. Maybe you can try that. But be careful. Don't do it when you're driving. Point number 5 is always had this tendency, even though I'm 46 now, I always had this tendency where I'd be worried about other people's feelings. If I say this person will feel bad. If I show that I'm angry, this person might feel upset. Now, if I have to say something, um, well, I used to do it to a certain extent, but now I do it even more. The only place I might not do this is if the person that I'm talking to is someone very powerful or influential or someone that I basically will need favors from. Otherwise, with everyone else, I just say and I let it out. What I've realized is I need to focus more on how I feel rather than focusing on how other people feel. So I know this can be debated, um, but not everyone can do it, especially if you're young or if you are in the process where you need other people's favors. Number 6 is over analyzing. I have this habit of if I go to a shopping mall or a supermarket, I'll check this product, is this good, is this bad, is this pricing good, is this, oh, there are 4 rolls here, this one has 6 rolls, how big is this roll, what is this drink comes with that, this comes with that. Uh, I, I, I don't know, maybe it's a habit that some of us tend to have. We like to literally take out a calculator and check, okay, this price with how many per unit and all. Now I've stopped over analyzing. If I go for shopping, I just decide these are the 10 things I need. Just take it, saves my time, go home. And if my wife knows any better, I tell her, you just go buy, finish it off. And generally now I focus less on trying to worry about the cost and focus more on the quality of the product and the experience that I get. So if I have to pay a premium, at least that's me. Why not? But this is only for day-to-day use things like toothpaste or whatever. I'm not talking of clothes and all that. Clothes and all that. I'm very simple. I never buy, never spend money on things like that. And yeah, even over analyzing, even when my cleaner comes, um, I before I used to tell her, okay, make sure this is good. And my wife would come and tell me, check, is this good and all that. I just tell my wife, tell her, I'll give her 20% extra if the work is perfect. And you check. So given that she knows she's going to get an incentive, I don't even have to check. My wife does it perfect. So I don't have to break my head. And I don't even bother to go and check because I know that she will not get the benefit. She knows that she'll not get the benefit if the job is not well done. So over analysis, forget it. I don't break my head. Like there was this book which I think if you can read a summarized version, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. I read it many years ago, man. And last but not the least, I think I don't take failures so seriously. Like during my weight loss journey, there were days where I had one day where I overate. Maybe I thought I'd not eat sweet, but I ate the sweet. Or sometimes it's like I said to myself, I will lose 4 kilos in this week, and I didn't lose any weight sometimes. In fact, sometimes I must have gained. I've realized that don't take it so personally. It's okay to fail. Failed, so what? Try again. Enjoy the process. So, whatever the case is, whether it's a client, whether it's losing weight, whether the name of the game is you keep at it. Don't burn yourself out. Don't be too hard on yourself. And don't expect perfection. Because when you make it easy on yourself, you tend to do more of it. If you make it too hard and you realize, man, I'm getting burnt out, you're not going to do it again. So these are the 7 habits that I've stopped from last year. I don't know which one of them added value to you. Do comment down below. And if you have any that you'd like to share, love to read them. Guys, take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.